Good evening, everyone, and welcome to 2023 and our first Omega Insight. Tonight's topic, I wanted to take a moment and recite and, and understand the Great Invocation. The Great Invocation is a mantra, a prayer that was brought to us in 1945 by Alice Bailey. Now, those of you who know Alice Bailey, she was a philosopher, a theologist. She did many writings on esoteric writings, ageless wisdom writings, and she channeled a Tibetan, she called him DK. She channeled this Tibetan who was an authority on ageless wisdom and esoteric teachings. Um, she's a great foundation for the ageless wisdom teachings that we have. Now, the invocation was brought to us as a universal prayer. So, first, let me just say this invocation. What does an invocation mean? Well, obviously, it's the act of invoking something. When I invoke something, this is what an invocation. When I'm invoking something, I'm asking for assistance or authority. I'm looking to or reaching from. Sometimes it's summoning a deity or something supernatural, like I invoke a spirit, if that's something that you believe in. So incantations can be considered that as well. So the concept of the great invocation, this great invocation really comes down to the idea of here is one of the greatest things that we can do as a human being. We can invoke or pray for humanity. That's the whole concept, is to pray for humanity, to take my energy, my will, my effort, and put it towards the greater good. Not just me. It's not for, I want to pray for a pony or pray that my husband wins the lottery or something like that. That's not what this is for. The idea that the invocation is I'm using my energy for the greater good for humanity. Now, the Great Invocation, written in 1945, so it has uh, outdated terminology, let's say. So it's been rewritten several times. And I think that when you do this, just do what's more comfortable for you. I have been reciting the Great Invocation ever since George taught it to us, and we had to memorize it in one of our facilitator trainings back in the 90s. So this is something that has been a part of my life, a daily practice that I have. And the idea, I like to do visuals when I'm doing an invocation. And so I would invite you to do the same thing. I usually go into a meditative state and then I will recite the Great Invocation. And I'm going to take it through each stanza and then I'll just read it straight through so you know what it means. So the first stanza, from the point of light within the mind of God. So one of the truths, I should just say, excuse me, I jumped ahead. The idea of the invocation is the truth. First truth is we recognize that there's something greater than us. There is an entity, a being that's beyond my capacity of understanding that created life. I'm just going to say that. It's having faith that I believe that there is, if you want to call it a God, a higher power, the great consciousness, universality, whatever word works for you, that's perfect. I'm going with God because it's nice and simple. So I'm just going to go with God. So it's the basic understanding that I recognize there's something greater than me. The next truth is that the powers that exist, two strong powers, love and light. Now we understand about love. Love can move mountains. People die for love. People live for love. Our love is our connection. Science actually can identify, or I read an article where scientists say that the protons and electrons are circling around the nucleus, and that force is called love. I think that's beautiful. So it's a force we can't quite see, but we feel. It's very powerful. It's a connection. And when you're in love, there's that connection. It's the agape love, the unconditional, we just know that kind of love. And then light. Well, what does light mean? It's not just the physical light, although life does exist because of the physical light. The planet Earth would not exist if we didn't have light to warm it up and feed the plants and etc. So light is necessary. But philosophically, light represents understanding and awareness, expansion. That's what light means. We often say that when I have an aha, oh, I shed the light. Let me shed some light on you. Or oh, I understand. That's light. Religion sometimes causes light as the way or the knowledge or the teachings. It's something that I can't grasp. I can't, like, light is on my hand right now, but I can't hold it. It's a reflection. It's something that exists. It's everywhere. So many times people connect light with God. So that's the other connection. So the two forces are love and light. And then another truth is the idea that there is a connection from God to us. We have a connection. We can't prove it, we don't see it, but we know it. There is a connection, whether you call it faith, whether you want to call it intuition, whatever you wish to choose, but there is some form of connection. Anybody who's ever done prayers, we understand this. And look at the great example in the NFL with DeMar Hamlin and all the prayers that went to him. I mean, all of the prayers that went to him. I'm sure, I am certain there is a power of prayer. That young man came back from a very tragic event, and I believe that the power of prayer was very helpful to him and to the doctors and to everyone else that was involved in that. So prayer can be very powerful too. Another truth is that there is the will. Will is something that's very important. So when we will something, we are putting our energy and our life force into it. Whether we like objects to develop our will. Will is strength, is what we can connect that with. Um, and then the other idea, the other concept about the great invocation is that God's will can come down to human beings. And then as a human being, we are capable of carrying that will forward. So we can take love from a greater source and spread it forward. We can take love and light from a greater source and spread it forward. We can have the power of God or will through us and spread it forward. That we can be instruments or make contributions. There's many teachings and many philosophies that speak about that we are just vessels for the greater consciousness to usher itself through. For God, I'm just a messenger for God. I mean, I've heard that say before. Um, you know, uh, we carry things forward, that it didn't come from me, it came from something greater than me. That's the concept and one of the truths that we have when it comes to the great invocation. Now, with the great invocation, let me look through the stanzas. And again, like I said, this was written many years ago. So there's been adaptations like DEI, diversity adaptations, to make sure that it includes everyone. And I like that. I like the idea. To me personally, as long as you use the format, whatever word you choose would work for you. I'm going to settle with God because that's an easy one for me, but you can use whatever works for you. So the first stanza says, from the point of light within the mind of God. Now remember, the concept of God is beyond my consciousness, but going with, if we say the Bible, that human beings were made in the image of God, I have a mind, therefore I assume there is something like a mind with God. So from the point of light, within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of, now it said men, but I like using human beings. Let light stream forth into the human beings, into the minds of human beings. May light descend on earth. So the concept is the light comes from the God, it comes to me, I spread it to the planet. And the visualization that I like to do is I like to see a source of light and then a pinpoint and then a beam of light streaming through into me, into my mind. And then I would send that and wrap the entire planet in light. That's my little visual. Then the next line is from the point of love within the heart of God, whatever you deem that to be. So I see just, love, an energy, a form of love, and a pinpoint, and then a stream of love coming to my heart. May light descend into the hearts of humanity, human beings' hearts into the hearts of humanity, is what I like to say. So may a point of light from the point of love within the heart of God let love stream forth into the hearts of human beings. And then the line is, may Christ return to earth, but they're using the terminology as Christ, as light, as the form of love. So I like to say, may love return to earth. So from the point of love in the heart of God, may love stream forth into the hearts of human beings, may love return to earth. Then from the center, where the will of God is known, so there's this vastness of God and a pinpoint of center. Let the purpose guide the little wills of men. Now, we say little wills, do not be offended here, because in comparison, the will of a human being is very small compared to the will of God, the collective consciousness, whatever you want to call it. It's beyond my comprehension. So the line is recognizing there's something greater than me, there is a will greater than my will. So may the will of God let the purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. Now, the masters, we're talking about people who have graced this planet and have carried the work forward. The Ageless Wisdom teachings, these are people who have graced our planet throughout history. You can think Buddha, Gandhi, Jesus, Mother Teresa, Quetzalcoatl, Akhenaton, it doesn't matter. Whomever you relate to, Zoroaster, Hermes Trismegistus, Confucius, whatever terminology works for you, that's fine. So there's masters. These are people who grace this planet and who have done this work. They have spread love and they have spread light throughout their lives. That's the concept. We're calling for the purpose which the masters know and serve. And then the final line is from the center, which we call the race of, and it says man, but I like to say the race of humanity. So from the center of humanity, the race of humanity, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the doors where evil dwells. Now, evil, of course, evil exists because good exists. There always has to be an opposite to everything. Always has to be an opposite to everything. Again, look throughout the planet and you can find many examples of evil. Evil has existed from singular evil, singular individuals to entire companies, corporations, countries. It could be evil. I'm just going to say it like that and leave it there. So evil has existed in the past and does exist today. So the concept is, remember, from the center where we call the race of humanity, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. And the last line is, let love and light and power restore the plan on earth, connecting power with will. So that's the whole point at the very end. And as a matter of fact, you can make that last line a mantra. Let love and power, let love, excuse me, let light, love, and power restore the plan on earth. That can be our mantra. Our mantra, let light, love, and power restore the plan on earth. Let light, love, and power restore the plan on earth. Now, as I said, I'm a pretty visual individual. And when I do the Great Invocation, I think I've said this already, I've been practicing this since the 1990s when we memorized it in facilitator training. I always go into a meditative state and then I visualize. So I will visualize the center of something that's beyond my comprehension streaming towards me as a human being that exists on this planet, and then sending it out and enveloping the planet in it. So I'm going to read this through one more time so that you can understand it. And again, use the terminology, whatever fits for you. So from the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of human beings. May light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of human beings. May love return to earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let the purpose guide the little wills of human beings, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center, which we call the race of humanity, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the doors where evil dwells. Let light, love, and power restore the plan on earth. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I appreciate it. I love passing on words of wisdom, ageless teachings to you. I look forward to connecting with you. and leave a comment below on perhaps maybe you have experiences with the Great Invocation, or maybe you have a different way of saying it as well. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see you on the other side of Zoom. Bye now.